Not every guardian angel is heavenly. Just ask this 9-year-old boy. We often face a situation where someone very unexpected comes to the rescue when we're in need of help or assistance. There are some strangers who spare you change while you're buying stuff, random people who help you pick up things you may have dropped or forgotten. Then there are some people who come to the rescue when you're faced with real-life threatening situations. If you live in a safe and secure home, you might not know the struggle that people who have experienced home invasions face. How would you feel if you saw masked, mysterious men bolting into your home, trying to take everything from you? It would certainly not be a positive thing. This boy of just 9 years experienced a home invasion, but somebody unexpected became his savior. We all know that there comes a point in time when there's a need for parents to leave their kids at home to run a few errands. This is exactly what happened to Shane Scher. Even though he's just 9 years old, his mother felt that he was old enough and brave enough to be on his own at home for a few minutes. He had to stay home as his mom had work and could not bring him along to all the places she was going. She needed to get things done by herself that fateful day. Most parents would be happy to see that their kids are grown enough to handle things at home for a few minutes. It would be nice to see your baby grow old enough to take care of things at home. Shane's mother did not expect at all that her dear would have to live through something like a home invasion when she decided that he should stay home alone. There was no concern or fear that something bad might happen to her son, as he was an obedient boy and because they lived in a safe and friendly neighborhood. You might think that it's highly irresponsible for a mother to leave a 9-year-old at home, but she had a very good reason for her action. She did not leave him because she was an irresponsible mother who didn't think about how her absence could affect her son. The main reason for leaving him home, besides him being obedient and well-mannered, is that their neighborhood was known to be very peaceful, never having any such bad incidents take place at all. Since Shane is a good boy, his mother was certain that she would not have to worry about the house turning into a wreck after returning home. She just felt that he was now old enough to take care of himself, even if she left him to go out for a while. In a neighborhood like theirs, she was certainly right to make him stay home, as violence or crime was almost absent. There was little to no record of crime in their area, which made her quite confident in leaving little Shane back home. While his mother was out doing what needed to be done, there was Shane, all alone in the comfort of his home, expecting nothing to happen at all. He was just minding his own business, sitting there inside the house, waiting for his mother to come back home with his other siblings. Then something happened that Shane nor his mom would have ever suspected to happen. Something so out of the box that it had never even crossed their minds till that day that it actually happened. Shane was not scared, nor did any negative thoughts circle his mind. He was just watching TV and enjoying his time alone. He was watching some of his favorite television shows, not expecting anything to take place. Just then, there was a very weird noise that originated from the front door. What or who could this be trying to enter the house at this peculiar hour of the day? The little boy didn't think too much of it at first and kept on watching his television shows there inside the house. Shane was just watching his shows when the noise came up. So as soon as he heard the noise coming from the front door, Shane paid more attention and listened. There was nothing to be concerned of, as the sound was just like any other day when his mom would come home. But was it though? He was able to hear the sound of dangling keys, which Shane thought was made by his mother, who had surprisingly reached home very early. It was not his mother. It was certainly not the time for Shane's mom to be back home from carrying out her errands. So Shane was a little puzzled as to why there was someone at the front door. Had she forgotten something, or did his sibling have an early day off from school? If his siblings were there at the front door with his mother, why were they so silent and not calling out for him like other days? There were so many questions in his mind, and a few moments later, Shane was about to find out. What Shane thought to be his mother at the front door proved to be false. It was not his friends, a neighbor, or a relative. The person at the front door trying to get into the house was someone that we all fear meeting with. Yes, it was someone we all hope and pray to avoid. This person making noises at the front door was a burglar. It's clear that any type of burglary, attempted or successful, is something we would not want to happen to us. The person that popped up in front of Shane's doorway was not an ordinary burglar too. How can we tell? Well, the following photo will surely let you know why. He did something extra that most burglars would not even think of doing. If you think about it, when do most burglars decide to go along with their activity? Well, the reason as to why we're calling this burglar different from ordinary burglars is because he made a decision to go through with his home invasion during the daytime. Who can say that they've experienced burglary during the day when the sun is still high up in the sky? If he was confident enough to try and get into the house during broad daylight, then there's something clear. We can guess that he'd kept his eyes on Shane's home for a long time, that he already knew that he was staying home alone that day. He must have been waiting for Shane's mother to get out of the house so that he could have a look inside the house. It was strange enough for the guy to try and get into the house during the daytime, but wait, there was something unfortunate that took place. It was quite unfortunate, in fact, because the obviously well-trained was able to break into the house with no issues at all. Did he not feel a little scared or nervous at all? How come he was so confident? So what did Shane do when he saw who had entered his home? Well, what do you expect? He was so scared and went straight upstairs to get away from the mysterious masked man who had broken into his house. Can you blame the 9-year-old boy? Who would not get terrified in a situation like this? The little boy was smart, if anything, for trying to get away. The burglar must have thought that the house would be empty after waiting for Shane's mother to leave. Judging from how fearless he was, the burglar probably thought he was all alone. Then he suddenly saw that Shane was home. After seeing the boy run upstairs, he followed him to try and get a hold of him. What would happen to Shane? So how do you think a 9-year-old would react to being placed in an ordeal like this? When Shane was asked about how he felt during the incident, he admitted to tearing up as he could hear the burglar getting nearer to him. He was absolutely terrified, thinking of what this man would do to him if he caught him. But wait, the burglar had another thing coming at him. Even though the burglar was an experienced one who could manage to get into Shane's home, he did not prepare himself for what was about to happen. As he made his way towards Shane, who had dashed upstairs to get away from him, someone intervened and the burglar was caught off guard. The family pit bull named Baby Girl was there with Shane all along. The family dog was actually there all along, sitting loyally next to Shane. The burglar would have definitely been surprised to find the duo there upstairs. When Baby Girl saw that the burglar was trying to catch Shane, her animal instincts came over and she proceeded to biting him. After getting bitten by an angry dog, what was the burglar to do? It must be due to the fact that the burglar had a fear of dogs, because as soon as Baby Girl stepped in and bit him, he got really scared. The bite must have definitely been quite harsh as he decided to run away from the house. Shane was scared at first, but after realizing that Baby Girl was there to protect him, he was no longer in fear. If the dog had not been present there next to Shane, imagine all the horrible things that could have happened to little Shane. The 9-year-old boy would have definitely had a terrible fate if not for his beloved friend and pet who came to the rescue in time of need. Shane was truly a lucky fellow to be protected by his fearless doggie, right? This was not all that happened. It was certainly fortunate that the family dog was able to scare away the intruder from the house where Shane was staying alone. Shane was still very scared even after Baby Girl had made the burglar run away. It would certainly be terrifying to live through this. But the most important thing was that he was now safe from harm to be able to call for some help. After trying to escape a burglar and getting rescued by his dog, little Shane was now free from all threats. He called the police as soon as he could and waited there for them to arrive quickly. The police came and were so shocked by what had happened to the boy, they asked him to narrate all that had taken place since his mother's absence. As soon as Shane knew that it was safe for him to come out from his hiding space, he made a quick dash to get to the house next door. He quickly told them all that had happened and gave them details about how the burglar got into their home. The neighbor was so happy that Shane was safe and immediately called the police to get there. The neighbor was glad to know that Baby Girl was there to keep guard on the little boy during his time of need. Baby Girl really does deserve all the credit, as the boy alone could not have been able to protect himself if the burglar decided to harm him. So what happened when the police arrived at their place? Keep watching to get the details. This was indeed a very strange occurrence in a place where Shane lives, since theirs is considered to be a very good neighborhood where such incidents like theft or burglary don't take place. It was quite intriguing for the police to learn about Shane's unfortunate experience. The little boy had been through so much in the past couple of hours. Even after the police officers arrived, Shane was still not over his fear and tension. The police could tell that Shane was still so terrified, so much so that they had to reassure him that he was out of harm's way now, that there was nothing to fear anymore. They told him that they were there now, that he would be protected at all cost. There was one other thing that really helped the police to find out the thing they needed to uncover. Shane's mom had installed several security cameras in different corners of the whole house. This then enabled the police to search for any clues that would lead them to catch the mysterious intruder who broke in during broad daylight. So as the police were hoping to get clues and hints to hopefully identify or locate the home invader, they made use of the surveillance camera placed on the corners of the house. You'd be surprised to see that these clips had helped the authorities extensively to deal with this situation. The police got to learn a lot from the footage they collected that day. Even after looking through the clips, the police faced some difficulty because of the fact that the mysterious burglar had put a ski mask on and wore inconspicuous clothes. There was no way they could identify who he was. However, there was something that the officers were able to get a hold of. It was the license plate of the burglar's car. So even after clear evidence of the burglar in the videos, since the burglar's face had been concealed with the help of a ski mask, the police had no way of finding out his true identity. It was really a disappointment for the poor police because they only got to learn about his license plate number. The story is a testament to the fact that dogs will always be there for their loved ones and family members. The story clearly proves just how loyal dogs can be and that they're willing to place themselves in danger if it would mean saving others. Baby Girl's a good example of this trait that most dogs possess, as she's responsible for saving Shane. You can just see from this photo how content and happy Baby Girl is to be in Shane's arms. She looks like she wants nothing more than to see Shane and his family safe and smiling. Even Shane is clearly attached to his loving dogs. His love for the dog would probably double after this remarkable incident of being saved by the brave pit bull. We all know that the intruder had gotten away, scared and afraid, because Baby Girl had bitten him ferociously in the house. Even after knowing that he was not there anymore, Shane was still very afraid of the whole situation, but he was fortunate to have his faithful pit bull by his side. The story doesn't stop there, as the burglar himself has not been caught by the police. The intruder's car plate has been spotted from the surveillance tape, so this gave the officers hope that they might be able to locate him in the near future. So do you think the authorities could catch him using this information they have collected? The place where Shane stays is known for being peaceful and safe, so the mere fact that there was a home invasion was something truly bizarre. Since it was such a surprise, the police decided that a press conference would do the locals some good. They wanted to inform everyone to always keep their doors locked so that their homes are safe at all times. It turns out all the information they could get about the burglar from the home security footage and even the accounts of little Shane was not enough to catch him. The best possible way the police would be able to locate or identify who he is by tracing the license plate number of the car he drove off with. If anyone ever sees that car again, it could be a good lead. Shane had been faced with such a horrific ordeal, and the experience implants a lot of fear in him, but in the end, everything was all right. Even though his life might have been in danger for a short span of time, Baby Girl was always there to save him from danger. Home invasions usually turn very deadly and usually don't end well. But if you have a dog like Baby Girl, what's there to fear?